Hi everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. At the office, taking a minor break. Going live with a brother of mine, Emmanuel Bonoko. We come a long way, me and this guy, yeah? Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday, really enjoying it. It's been a long week on my end. Been working since this week. Did a little bit of exercise. Some people are saying I'm preparing for a marathon. I'm back. I'm back at my game. I'm back to greatness. Back on the road. Feels good to exercise, yeah. But other than that, it's been really hectic. Me all the time when I'm going live, TMBS is calling me. But yeah, man, it's been a great week. I've got a few commitments lined up for the day. I've got a few more meetings. From after 2. I'm on lunch now, so I'm gonna go live with my friend Emmanuel Bonoko. Tune in if you can. It's gonna be an amazing chat. Come along with this guy. Let's check him up. Mr. Bonoko, where are you, sir? Where are you? Man. Okay. Adding Emmanuel now.
Hey, leader.
Hey, my good sir.
How are you?
Good on you.
I'm well.
You are?
I'm a bit nervous here.
Suga, get out of here. Get out of here, my man. You've been. I'm saying get out of here. You've been gracing stages in Nigeria,
Don't
all
start
over the
now.
continent, all over the continent.
But Leah, this is about you. It's not about me. Hey? I'm honestly speaking. I will send you a voice note that leader. I'm a bit nervous. I don't know why, but I sent you a voice note, leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why are you nervous, man?
I don't know, man. It's because maybe the respect that I have for you and what we have done over the years. And the respect that we have for each other, people, they know very well that we are friends. But I look at our, relationship, how we respect each other, how we support each other, how we value each other, how we communicate, So maybe that's why it might be.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm humbled, my brother. I'm humbled.
Yeah, thank you so much for making time. I'm very excited, Theo. So I'll just introduce myself so we can start because this is about you. We are here to honor and appreciate you for the great work that you've been doing over the years, and what also personally I've learned on your journey and so forth, But Emmanuel was also nervous when he was talking to me. That's simple, yeah.
That's simple, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So, leader, people, as I've mentioned, they know about you, Batu, and what we have done over the years, and what we have achieved, and wish we celebrate you. But I want this conversation, to be so authentic, to be so real. Let's just open up. I want so many young people that look up to you, including myself, to really relate and connect well with you. Because people, they don't know that you did put so much work. There was so many sacrifice. There was so many, failures along the way. So I want this not to be more of a high level, but just to be so practical, just to be more honest, and let's just make impact, So I hope you're okay with that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay.
I think maybe just before you jump on it, I just want to say thank you so much, my brother, for joining me on this live chat. Me and you go a long way, and oftentimes we actually don't, people, we don't tell our story a lot, as to where we come from and how far. Our challenge is all like basically reflecting on the journey and what we went through.
Absolutely.
So I'm really humbled, my brother, by your kind words. And I still don't understand the nervous part, but
it's the respect, leader. The respect, yeah. But leader, I think the best way to start, we just need to know more about your background. Theo Baloyi, where were you born, and how was your childhood at home? Mama, papa, family. Just tell us more of your background. Then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, Mr. Bonoko, you obviously know my background, but for those who don't, I come from humble beginnings, brother. I was actually born and bred in Pretoria. Harankuwa Hospital. I spent the first 10 years of my life in Soshanguve, Block UU. And then quite ironic, people don't know this, but you and I went to the same primary school.
Yeah,
So,
I feel you.
so I went to Shalom Primary School, but then we didn't
Yes.
know each other. Only now, later on, we were like, "Hey, brother, you actually went to Shalom Primary School." I was with
Yeah.
the Black Motion guys the other day, Bong, and I was
Yes.
talking to him, and he was like, "Hey, bro, then I went to Shalom," and I was like, "Oh, I went to
Absolutely.
Shalom." And then in this era, and we quite ironic because we shared the same teachers, you know what I'm saying? It was in the same era, same teachers, the principal was the same, but we just never knew each other. Only
Yeah.
now when we've grown and then we meet, our path cross, and we're like, hey, this is where I started my schooling, and we found out that we actually come from the same primary school. But yeah,
Yes.
then my dad was a male nurse. My mom was a store manager at Louis Furniture Store. We then later relocated to Pake, where
Okay.
both my parents come from. It's a village outside Hammanskraal. I think about 56 kilometers outside Hammanskraal. That's where I literally spent most of my teenage years or my teenage life.
Yeah.
And I matriculated Komavote Senior Secondary School.
Nice.
2009, I relocated to Johannesburg to further my studies in accounting. And then obviously, like any other, most of us is black children, our
Yeah.
parents couldn't afford to really pay for our tuition
Yes.
and pay for our accommodation. So what happened with me is that, I passed, I did well in my matric. So my
Oh.
dad was like, look, I'll sell my car. I don't have money to pay for your
Yeah.
fees, but I'll sell my car just for you to pay for that first semester. And oftentimes in varsity, you would know that, it's either you pay a deposit and you come up with a payment plan, or if
Yes.
you've got the means, then you'll pay for the whole year, or
Yeah.
you just pay the installments over the years. So what my
Yeah.
dad did is that, like, I don't have the money to pay for you, but I can
Yes.
sell my car so that we have deposit, so that you can
Wow.
at least start.
Wow.
So that's what happened. Then obviously they couldn't afford, so I had to go and live with my uncle in Alex,
Yeah.
whom ironically works with us in the business today.
Oh, wow.
And then that's how I got to live in Alex. Obviously
Yeah.
I was
And
furthering my studies.
yeah. And where did you study? Which institution did you go and further your studies?
So I went through UNISA via Gamelin,
Okay.
so that correspondence. Yeah,
So me
yeah.
and you went
So
through UNISA, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then I started my studies in bed. And yeah, I've been here in Joburg since 2009, obviously living in Alex where I started the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
Okay.
that's that's about me. That's my a nutshell about who I am.
Yeah, quite inspiring. And you know what? Let's just take people back, leader, because I remember, you sent me a DM on Facebook.
Mm, mm,
You sent me a DM on Facebook. I think I'm the one who sent you a friend request.
yes.
Then you sent me a DM after a couple of months, and you said, Mr. Bonoko, I've been following all the great work that you've been doing through your foundation. And,
Mm,
can you please be a mentor?
yeah.
Because already I was still studying, but already I had a foundation. I was quite involved in my community, and already I was getting a lot of media exposure. And you
Mm,
approached me that, Emmanuel, can you please be my mentor? But also then I went through your social media. It's like, but there's something that I can learn from this gentleman. And
yeah.
we did meet, go Santin Seeds in Mac and Bean. I think that's the
Mm,
first time when I met with you over coffee.
yes,
And
yes.
as we were speaking, I remember saying, no, I can't be your mentor. Same age, similar background, similar struggles. So I think the best way, we can, mentor each other. I remember saying,
Mm,
can we mentor each other? And and you obviously, you've been saving me quite a lot. I just need to declare this, that I remember you used to take me to my interviews. Like, let me say, I'll go to Mozanzi Insider.
yeah.
You'll be driving with Red Rose. I don't know if Red Rose is still alive. You'll be driving me to, all my interviews. And also when we arrange, most of our events, under our foundation, you'll be the
Mm,
one transporting the entire team around, and
mm,
you're not even getting paid at all, but we're just saving, under Iwunoko Foundation, and
yeah.
also trying to, discover so much about yourself. So I just want to
Mm,
understand the importance of saving. Because you did save me, Theo, quite a lot. And as I
yes.
need to be honest, there was no money coming in. We're
Yeah.
still building together, we're still struggling together. But you saved me. There was a time you were going to Dubai, and we had an event, and you had to go to Soweto to transport
Yeah.
some of the logistics for the event. So what is the importance of saving that maybe you can share with so many young people that want to start businesses today, but they don't want to save, they don't want to have mentors and be and be teachable?
So I think, you know what, I think purpose in its own is about saving, number one, you know.
Yeah.
Purpose is rooted in saving. So purpose is never about, it's never about self, but it's about others.
Yeah.
If you look at it, you know, the result of purpose has impact on others, you know. So
Yes.
with our journey, how it started was a matter of, I was in LX, and you know, I really wanted to start associating with like-minded people. And here's this guy on my social media who's doing amazing work. You know, it's like,
Yes.
let me reach out and start, you know, because for me, I like that energy. I love, you know, networking with like-minded people. And,
Yes.
you know, quite ironically, we clicked and we found out that we've got similar backgrounds, you know. And I
Yes.
think that's where our friendship, you know, started. And then it was rooted in savings, you know, to say, look, dude, at the time we were just running Bonoko Foundation, you know,
Yes.
the holding company hasn't started. So
Yes.
solely your business was around saving, you know, and I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
you know, I need to get on this journey too, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Save
sir.
together, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, I understood that it's not about the money, but it's about the impact, it's about learning, you know what I mean? Because
Yes,
at
sir.
the time you were doing meaningful things. So it's very important, you know, to really serve, you
Yeah.
know, not sort of expecting something in return, but just
Yeah.
pouring your heart, to the universe, you know.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
tell you a story that I've actually, you know, this story, I think, but a lot of people don't know this story. And
Yes, sir.
when I was doing my second year, brother,
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, the Bible says don't let, and I want to put this disclaimer. The Bible says don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, something along those
Yes,
lines. I
sir.
think it's a chapter
Yes.
in Matthew. And then oftentimes I'm not one to talk about what I do for other people. I
Yes.
don't do that. But I
Yeah.
want to answer a question by saying this testimony. So when I was doing my second year in university, I used to actually, there was a boy whom, I mean, I works with us in a business today.
Yeah.
I used to sell perfumes door to door. And what I used to do with my money, I used to buy a lot of Lacoste sneakers.
Yes.
And I had so many, I ended up giving out, you know, to some of the people that I know. This
Yes,
is
sir.
just shoes. And in that time of giving shoes leadership, if you came to
Yeah.
me and told me that one day I'll run a shoe business, I would have told you why. Why would I
Yes.
mean I'm an accountant. Why would I do that? Not even millionaires would I do that. And I
Yeah.
used to go all each woman home in Alex, you
Yeah.
know, just to help out and really, you know, clean and do whatever, you know. So that in return resulted in many things,
Yeah.
you know, in me starting Batu, whatever, because everything else that I did was rooted in saving. Even when I started Batu, you know,
Yes.
I used to drive in Gokasi and I'd see that our
Yes.
people are unemployed. So
Yes.
number one was that we need to start a business that can reignite hope and create
Mm.
sustainable jobs. So it was never
Absolutely.
about profit. So
Yes, sir.
when I was with you, it was never about, hey, you need to pay me you need to pay me back my petrol money or
Yes, sir.
anything. It was about the outcome of, you know, back to Kasi seminar, what you're doing, the impact that you're doing,
Yes.
you know, and
Yeah.
in that, you know, you get to reach out to your core and you get to reach out to people, which for me, it's I don't do anything else if it does not get to my core. My people
Yeah.
know if it does not get to my core, just my core, I don't want to get involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I've structured my business. And then everything else that I do, it's rooted in saving, directly and
Yeah.
indirectly. Yeah.
Yeah. And can you say, like, as you were saving, under Ibunoko Foundation and eventually were able to appoint you as a director, can you say you have discovered so much about yourself? Because obviously you're still working for PwC and this is a different structure, different organization. We are young people, also Mamelo, who she's in the US now, Mr.
Yeah.
Raps and so forth. So I just want to understand, did you discover so much about yourself and potentially what you might become in years to come?
Yes, and
Yes.
going back to that point, the beauty about saving is that it becomes a character building journey,
Yes, sir.
a soul building journey, you
Yeah.
know, a core building journey. So you get to really reach out to yourself and to people. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
you get to connect with the universe. You get to connect
Absolutely.
with energy of like the right energy. You know, you get to connect with
Mm.
the right people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get to really go back to bed and be grateful because you understand that you are fortunate. You understand that you're
Yes.
blessed. You know, you get
Yeah.
to go to bed and ask yourself, who are you? You get to go to bed and really, you know, understand that why am I here?
Yes,
You
sir.
know, you get to stand before God and talk to God and say, I thank you. I
Yeah.
seek you. I
sir.
need your guidance. And that's the
Yes,
beauty
sir.
about saving. So my point is that with Ibunungu, I got to
Yeah.
really engage with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Good people, bad
Yeah.
people,
Yes.
people that are, I don't want to talk about the bad
Yeah.
people, but good
Yeah.
people, bad people,
Yeah.
and amazing people that are
Yes,
very and
absolutely.
highly inspirational. That are inspirational,
Yeah.
and you get to reach out to those people, and then oftentimes because you don't have an eye of envy,
Mm.
you look from a point of view of being inspirational and being
Yes, sir.
inspired and being motivated. Then you
Yeah.
get to go to bed and ask questions about yourself. Who
Mm.
are you?
Yes,
You
sir.
know, so
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I really learned a lot about myself during that time.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that, leader. So, before we go further, I just want us to go back in terms of your education. That how important is for young people to go to school and acquire knowledge, and also us as entrepreneurs. I mean, there's this context like every young people that want to start businesses. We always
Mm.
make reference of your Bill Gates, your Steve Jobs. That those are university dropout.
Yes,
And
yes.
for me, I always believe that we can embrace entrepreneurship without undermining the power of education. I look at myself also. I went to school. I got my degree in marketing. Also, you went to study accounting. So, what is the importance of education, and also looking at the South African context? Because Bill Gates is not from South Africa. It's not from Africa. Your Steve
Mm.
Jobs. This is Africa. There's so many social issues that we are still dealing with. So,
Yeah.
for you as this great entrepreneur that we celebrate and honor today, what can you say? Education has played a part to your journey and to be where you are.
It played an amazing role in terms of molding me into the person
Yes.
that I am, business wise and on my personal capacity,
Yeah.
because number one, when you get to business, I remember at PwC we had a business school where you
Yes.
can literally, if you're not on a project, literally go through the online courses or courses that are taking place at the business school and book
Yeah.
yourself and go empower yourself in that,
Yeah.
or get the education. So for me, I think one thing that I've taken away from corporate is that, education is that, it has helped me build my technical and my soft skills.
Yes, sir.
Number one thing that you learn when you get to corporate is rules of engagement. The way you carry
Mm.
yourself, you're a brand
Yeah.
yourself. The way you talk, the way you communicate, the way you sell, the way
Mm.
you solve problems, the way you
Mm.
really present solutions into the business, the way you
Yeah.
understand your client's dynamics. So for me, I
Mm.
learned a lot, and that comes from education. Because of for me, leadership. When I started go with my coming from Pake,
Yeah.
starting with my postgrad or my undergrad at the time,
Yeah.
first year of accounting class, my lecturer walked in the
Mm.
class and asked the entire class, that obviously introduced himself, and the first question was, "What are the top 4 accounting firms in the world?" And
Mm.
coming from a village, I didn't even know. Everyone in the
Mm.
hand, like the hands were up, and they answered. And I was like,
Mm.
accounting firm? What's an accounting firm? So from then,
Mm.
that's when my basically, a journey of education started, and really empowering myself, and it played
Yeah.
a role to be the man that I am today, and I
Yeah.
think there's different times and different forms of education, and today I'm
Mm.
still learning, I'm still getting educated.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, and I see great comments from Mr. Rabs, great people that also I respect. Thank you so much, guys, for the feedback. So leader, let's speak about the power of starting,
Mm,
and the fear of starting a business.
yeah.
And I look at your journey. Okay, let me just refer to myself. I had a foundation, and I can say through my foundation, my skills were a bit refined. I got so much exposure. I built networks. I was able to learn so many things about business because there I'm running a foundation, and also I need to go and find possible partners and corporate. So I was learning quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember, when you came from Dubai, me and you, we met Ko Bram,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we complain, say, hey, leader, I've gained so much weight. Like, no, don't worry, Duan, grand, man. And
Yeah.
that day we had to drive to church. I think we're going to Rema Bible Church.
Yes.
And you asked me that you asked me that, leader, I want to embark on this great business journey, to launch a shoe brand, Batu. And I remember we had Brother Idumeling, Glad,
Yes.
and we come with concept in terms of Batu, how should we even name it, the design, I was one of the few people. When you landed from Dubai, you drove go Bramo and we met go Madeleine coffee shop. So I want to understand about the power of starting, because of, to be honest with you, also there was a bit of fear from your side. Because I remember you said, leader, do you think I can partner with, I won't mention names, they are quite great brands that I respect in South Africa. Young people are doing well. You said, leader, can I partner with you? Maybe, Batu will grow and I'll gain momentum. Do you think, leader, when I get your support through PR and marketing, because of that's what you specialize in, you do well. And I said, no, leader, you don't need any validation. You don't need any support from anyone. If you have approval from God, this is going to become a global brand and you'll do extremely well. And that's what I told you. And look where Batu it is today. So I just want to understand about the fear of starting, because there's so many young people also they want to start businesses, but there's fear.
Yeah. I think, one thing that I've learned from my journey with Batu is that you actually don't realize how much power you've got or what you're capable of until you start doing. You can talk all you want, you can get the motivation, you can think all you want, but the power is in acting. Because one thing that Batu taught me is that people actually believe they believe in a moving car. So, and the problem is with us as a people is that we want to move in a perfect car, in a nice car, in a latest model of a car. But really, it's not about that. It's about getting to the destination. It's about embarking on the journey. It's about, if you don't have a proper car to get there, if your car it's like an old model that needs service, struggle with it. Push it through, and then people will come and help you. To get to the destination, so you don't necessarily have to wait for the perfect moment or wait for things to be perfect. You just need to get going. You know what I mean? And every day, I think I worked on Batu leadership, and I kid you not, 18 months of research and development, proof of concept, quality control, quality testing, just basically building the business model for about 18 months. And this is 18 months, Mr. Bonoko, of not even stopping. I was employed. It's either I wake up in the morning and I work on the business, then I go to work and I work. And when everyone else leaves after 5, I stay behind until 10 in the evening work. I never had weekends. I never had, weekends or anything. My weekends was like, I'm working on part 2. If I'm not working on my job, I'm checking out on family for a good 18 months, and I worked on it. So it's about starting and not working on the business or the concept when you feel like it, but you keep on going, and that consistency, So, and to be honest with you, the more I did that, the less scared I got. Because only now, this is quite funny. The ironic part is that only now, especially during this lockdown, I started reflecting on the journey, and I'm even more scared now. I'm actually scared now of what I did. I'm scared. Or Theo, did you just quit a tax-free salary in Dubai? Why would you be if this thing didn't work? Only now I'm starting to ask myself those questions. Back then it was like I need to do this. And the way I quit was so funny, because I went back to work with a plan to really obviously push Batu as a side hustle and continue my job. But I got into the firm in the office, and then obviously first day of work, what they normally do in accounting firms is that they start reporting on the previous financial year, how well you did, targets for the year, new projects that are coming through, new accounting standards that are going to be introduced, different types of training, whatever. And I sat in that presentation for about 2 hours, and I was like, this is not me. And now my heart is in my soul. My heart is in when I mean soul, I mean the shoe, the sole of the shoe. My heart is there going back kokasi and pushing it past. So I don't want to be in these fancy offices with ties and cufflinks and cufflinks and pocket squares. And I want to go back and really start and push the business. So my answer to you is that you just need to get started. Because remember,
but there was fear.
Yeah, the fear is just low vibrations. Low vibrations of probably the energy that you're keeping. That is what fear is, And then if you keep on feeding that, your vibrations will forever be low. So you really need to, motivate yourself and literally face your fears. And get started.
Good question, leader. Good one. Good remarks. And And one of my mottos in life also is that I always believe that never be ashamed or embarrassed to struggle. I believe there's nothing wrong working hard to get where you want to be in life, And also, I just want to understand in terms of the struggles that also you had along the journey to build the brand Batu. I mean, I know many, what you had to go through, Maybe you can just share a few, because I think some people now, they just see the final product. They don't know that there were so many failures, Theo. You had to get the right support, and people that really can believe in you. I mean, I remember when we still embarking on this journey, I had to also buy my bag too from you, but I couldn't get my size.
Yeah, because you were size 13 or something.
Yeah, leader, and you were doing just concept proof, just to see how it works. But you had a great strategy, because you had to go through your friend that, guys, this is what I'm doing, this is the cost, just to see how it goes, But what are some of the struggles that, you had to face along the journey, to be where you are?
I think number one for me was obviously, with footwear manufacturing, it's very capital intensive, in a sense that you need to have a lot of money to get started. Number one.
Yeah.
So what I've done is that, with our proof of concept, which was like about 100 pairs, the factory was not willing to really switch off their machines to do only 100 pairs, because there's cost involved. Like, there's water, there's electricity, there's labor to be paid, and they couldn't just switch on the machines for 100 pairs. So number one was just basically convincing them that, yes, we're not going to make money from the proof of concept, but I will be coming with bigger numbers, and this concept will work. Number two is obviously convincing them about the mesh edition, our flagship design, because they didn't believe. Normally in footwear manufacturing, mesh is used as a component of a shoe. So I wanted to build a shoe that with the whole shoe with mesh. And they didn't believe that. So I had to convince them that we can actually build a shoe out of mesh and it will actually sell, But I think the bigger challenges was basically, number one, convincing our consumers that our brand is as good as, the international footwear brands. Because we want to build a shoe brand that Africans can proudly affiliate with, benchmark it with the number one international footwear brands that we currently have, So convincing our fellow South Africans or our fellow Africans that we are as good as those international footwear brands. You had to do a lot of work around that. And then obviously coming into the game, you get criticized a lot, you get undermined a lot, because, I think the unfortunate part about Africans is that we've always been at the receiving end. There's been concepts that come and go, but we have never really exported our IP and our business models to the world. And Americans or Italians or any other part of the world can go like, there's a product that comes from Africa, and it's really changed the world. It has really changed the way we look at, or the way we consume, or the way we live. There's always been a narrative, a concept that just dies, that starts here and that dies here. So it's like, it always does that, So everything else that changes the way we live. You look at Uber, you look at Airbnb, you look at all of those big technologies that we're using today, has always been from other parts of the world, and Africans are always at the receiving end. So oftentimes, unconsciously or unconsciously, we always think that anything that starts here, it's just here for the moment. It's just here for the season. It's just here for the trend. It will never go and really make wonders in the other part of the world. So for me, I had to start with my own people to say, look, guys, I know there's this kind of brands that are very good, that I respect, but we are starting something of our own that can be as good as that. So convincing those people, because I've had a lot of people, Emmanuel, where clients come with their parents, in the store saying, look, the parent said, I need to buy you a shoe, and they choose Batu. And the parent go like, hey, Batu. It's like, Mama, when I go Batu, don't talk about Batu. Don't know how to get Batu. So for us to get to that level, we get kids crying in the store when you don't have a size, For us to get to that level, we had to really work hard in terms of convincing, our consumers that we are as good. And it really, really humbles me when I see those emotions at stores. You find people driving all the way from Polokwane, and then, it also breaks my heart, and they get there and there's no size, or whatever the case might be, So to get to that level has been a journey to convince our people that, we are as good as international footwear brands. There's still a lot of room for improvement, I agree. And then we're still working on it as a business,
Yeah, no, good one, leader. Good one here. And also, I mean, I just want to also reflect a bit on my journey. Just on the element of struggles. One of the
Yes.
things that I've learned from you, it was about building the right team,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's something I really struggled a lot with. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
and even this year, I mean, I had to let people go of the company because we don't share the same vision. Our vision is not well aligned. And I was listening to you on 5FM, and they ask you the similar question, that how do you find the right team? Because sometimes when you build a company, you may not have all the resources, but you need people that can support you, that can see the bigger picture. And also in my journey, I had people like you, Mamelo, who, I mean, she's in the US now, people like Rapelang, people like Training. And these are young people that also, they're not even getting paid, but we're still building, we're still working from Bram, Center of Entrepreneurship. So how do you identify the right team? And I want you to break it down, because it's not easy to manage people. Until today, as much as you run this big company and you are doing extremely well. And when I say well, because obviously you are able to create jobs for so many Black young people. But how do you manage people? I mean, team management. How do you do it from your side? Because I'm seeing flames, dude. Hey,
they say there's a saying that says actually, I want to say so many things at once. Actually, let me start there. Leading people, it's a skill on its own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, the way I still struggle with it till this day. Obviously, we are much more corporatized now. We've got a human capital department that does all the recruitment. But I think my team understands me that, there's certain pillars that we use in the business, or that are embodied as a business person, certain values that are embodied as a person, and we always look for that. So we always, for us, when we recruit, we always go attitude before skill, character before skill, because with the two, great attitude, good character, great values, you can always learn skill. You know what I mean? Other than, oh, he's so skilled, but the attitude or the character, later on you discover that it's not right, because of skill, because of character and attitude will always contribute to the culture of the business. And that's how you build the culture of the business, and people can always learn, So I always try to go with that model, that I look for great values and great attitude before skill, before I even go and look down into, yes, I look at, obviously I check out the CV and I look at the technical experience and everything else, but then I park that for a moment and I go and look into you as a person, the character you've got, your attitude that you've got, and I always try to recruit from that, because that is always best. There's a saying that says, culture eats strategy for breakfast. So you can have a very good strategy, but if you've got a very bad culture in the business and people with bad attitude, you're not gonna win. It doesn't matter how good your strategy is, you're just not gonna win. You're not gonna make it, So for me, I try to build around culture before anything. I try to build and recruit with people that can resonate with who we are, people that can resonate with our values and our story and understand our vision. I've also let go of some people because they're not aligning with the vision, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, for me, when I say, hey, Emmanuel, look, you're a good person, responding our failure, but I think our journey ends here. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. You shouldn't be made feel guilty for that. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's the path will cross, but it comes to a point whereby you need to go different ways. And then,
so can you say that you had to let go of a few people also from
a lot,
from the
and I fire, eh?
Okay, Theo.
I fire, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna take
actually, sorry, now because we've got human capital department, and my human capital or my HR manager is very strict, so he sometimes calls me to order, but if it wasn't for that, now would fire, bro. Like really, not because of not because I don't care about people, but because the vision is important. Leadership is important,
and this is not. It's not
nothing personal.
It's not. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing personal.
I was actually asking. I was actually asking Vusi the other day to say,
yes, sir.
How come when employees, they are so quick to say you are a bad leader because maybe you are strict or whatever, or maybe because of you've got a different opinion, or you don't agree with what they're saying, or you just have disagreements. They're quick to say you're a bad leader.
Absolutely.
But when they don't meet the KPIs, and the
Yes.
targets. How
Yes.
come employers don't say you are a bad employee?
Mm.
We have to understand. No, we set you a
Mm.
KPI and a target to
Yeah.
sell 5 oranges, right? And now
Yeah.
it's June. It's actually
Mm.
July, and then they were supposed to be done in June, and it's
Yeah.
not done in August, or in
Yeah.
July.
Yeah.
And we now have to understand.
And I think Leader,
And,
that's
and, and,
something.
and then we don't go
Yeah.
back and say, no, this guy's a bad employee. Why don't we say
Yeah.
that?
You know, I think that's something that also we still need to, educate so many about young people. You know that when you get a job, it's about value. You know,
About value, man.
you come here to add value, and they must not that have that mindset that I'm going there to work. You know, but what value are you able to bring my company? And that's the conversation that also I'm starting to teach my team. And during this crisis, so many companies are closing down, so many companies are retrenching. So if you're a young person, yes, you went to school to study, but what value are you going to bring the company? And also, how do you edify my work? I think that's something that also they need to, keep, asking themselves, because that's something I had to battle with. I had a great team, but they will come here, they don't meet targets, and
Okay. Yeah, I'm here, my leader.
okay, yeah. So yeah, it's for me. It's about value. But let's just jump to a few questions here. I saw one question from Makazi, and I'm sure you know him very well. He asked in terms of your plan, in terms of expanding in Africa. What's your strategy in that manner? And also there was a question about from Kabelo, one of the young people that I respect so much. He asked about finance to start, because some of us leader, we had to start businesses without funding, so also can you clarify that? Did you get any funding towards Batu, an investment, and also your plan in terms of expanding in Africa?
So I think number one, let's start with the expanding plan. Yes, we have expansion plans. I mean, we already have a very good footprint, in the SADC region, in East and West Africa. We're doing a lot of orders. Actually, I think some of the orders that we've gotten here for during lockdown, they come from that part of the continent, and then we are looking into obviously expanding in the next coming years. I can't see when exactly, but we will have some footprint there, in the next coming years. We're actually working on that plan now with our accountants and the team. So,
Nice.
and in terms of funding, to be honest with you, we are not funded by anyone. Till this day, I own 100% of the business.
Yeah.
From day one, we've never received funding or whatsoever from anyone. And then I started the business for my savings. I worked for 5 years for PricewaterhouseCoopers, 2 years in South Africa, 3 years in the Middle East. I saved for that period of 5 years, and then I took all my savings and I started the business. And then to answer your question, maybe for those that are looking for funding, my advice will be this. Number one, you need to understand the mechanics of your business model. Really
Yeah.
understand it, either from the product or service point of view, and how really you're going to, how does your mechanics work around your business model. Number two, the commercial aspect of it. Where's the commercial value out of a business model? You really need to understand that. Number three, I think it's always advisable and it's always a winning selling point when you communicate your business model, the mechanics of that, the commercialization, and on top of that, you top it with a proof of concept. For that, I think it's always a killer pitch, for those that are looking for concept. So don't come and say, these are the mechanics of my business, this is probably the commercialization, but you don't have anything else to show, So those 3 points, they're always a killer when you're looking for funding. I've never really looked for funding, but I think I've sold and I've seen proposals before in corporate, and they're always, basically put the proposal like that to say, these are the mechanics, this is the commercial aspect of it, this is the proof of concept, and then we just need money to scale or to really tap into the next phase.
Okay, good question. The other one question that I've seen here again from I think Josi, he spoke about what is the importance of having the right people in your space. I mean, me and you are friends, and you have done so much for me, and I still want to, emphasize that you have really served me. I remember, you'll come and pick me in my place. We'll be shooting Zanzibar Insider. You were there to support me. People that don't know, you used to take pictures behind the scene. You know, and you were saying you had to serve. You used to comply. Proposal for me. Structure in terms of how you communicate. And I think it's quite key. For people to know your journey, that you served me to be the great man that you are. So what is the importance of having the right friends, people that also believe in you, people that speak about solutions, people about progression. So what is the importance of the right team, or actually right friends?
Leadership would know of all people that I've got a very small circle. Because remember, energy is contagious. So I keep a very small circle, and it has worked for me because I've got the right people in my circle all the time. I'm a loner by nature, by the way.
Okay.
I'm a loner by nature.
So can I be your friend leader?
You can, but how do you put this? I do well when I'm on my own.
Yes.
I become the better version of me when I'm on my own,
Yeah.
So that's how I structured my life for many, many years, My mom tells of a story of when I was still young, a toddler basically. I would literally just be next to my mom, and I'll be fine the whole day. And then all the time when I look around, I don't see my mom, I will cry. And I never wanted anyone. I didn't want anyone to touch me. So I think that's how I'm built. I'm alone. I love my space a lot. I love spending time on my own. So for me, it works because of you get the chance to be authentic to your core.
Nice.
Yeah. So not to give away leadership, if I put it like that. I'm talking to more. Like I'm very strong at heart, and I've got a very strong character. I don't do anything else that is outside my core, just to please the next person, and I'm in tune with self. I've sort of mastered self, and then that's where most of my thought process, my creativity, my next big move comes from, because I spend time with self. So that works for me. So it's very important because you block a lot of noise. You get to block a lot of noise.
Many questions. I'm getting so many questions. Even from yesterday, people that have been asking me that. I mean, you're quite well celebrated, Theo. You've been listed on Forbes. You have won a number of awards over the years.
Someone says I'm flexing. I saw someone says I'm flexing.
Okay, show us, leader.
Someone said I'm flexing. I saw someone said I'm flexing.
Leader. You deserve. You have done extremely well. You have done extremely well, Theo, and well deserved, because the work is there. You have sacrificed so much to be where you are. So they're asking, how do you deal with attention that you get from people in the public? And obviously, I always ask you, do you get emotional? I mean, I look at your work. Now you have a footprint in some of the provinces in South Africa. You've been doing extremely well. People, they've really embraced Batu as a brand, and that's where also I had hope in my own Black people, that actually Black people, they can support you. So how do you deal with that in terms of the exposure that you are getting, and how do you still remain grounded? How do you still go kasi and and say you still can do it?
I think number one for me, leadership, I think I'm a spiritual guy, number one.
Yes, sir.
And people don't know this because they always see me like not in my spiritual zone, So what I do is that, for me, I think I'm so authentic to my core. That I know what's right for me, I know what's aligned with my character.
Yes,
and
sir.
Number three is that the biggest advantage and the biggest blessing has been the fact that I'm zoned in Kopatu. So I don't see what people see. So for me, Batu still, for me, when I think about Batu, I still have the same emotions that I had when I started. So I don't think we're big. For me, I was actually chatting to my shuri the other day. It's like, honestly speaking, I think it's a problem, but it's not a problem. I've never thought we're big, to be honest with you. I've never thought Batu's big. Honestly speaking, I've never thought
even
that
now,
we made it.
Theo, based on
Even
what you have
honest,
achieved,
and I'm not trying to be modest. Yeah.
No, Theo,
my team will tell you this.
Employed currently?
No, my people will tell you this. 74.
How many people have you employed currently?
74.
Over 74. So you don't think Batu is big until today?
But the honest truth, and this comes, I don't want to be like, this comes from, this is me being honest, like, and it's authentic. I've never woken up one day and thought, oh, we're big. Till this day, I've never had that in my mind. Never. I've always looked at, because I think maybe it's because of the way I look at Batu and the way I want to take it. Maybe that's why. Because for me, I always think, the size of the size of Zara, the size of Nike, the size of
Yeah.
Under Armour,
Yes.
7,000, 8,000 employees, headquarters in
Yeah.
South Africa, a
Yeah.
store in San Francisco, a store in Kenya,
Yeah.
employing so many people in this region, making
Yeah.
this difference and this impact in this region. So I
Yeah.
always think like that. So that's why I never think we are big with 74 people, because in my
Yeah.
mind, I've got 7,400 employees. In my mind, I've
Yeah.
got 74,000 employees. I don't
Yeah.
think 6 stores. I think 60 stores. I think 600 stores. I think 6,000 stores, So that's why I never, and I really appreciate the support and the growth. I see the growth, but I don't
Yes.
think we're big. I acknowledge the growth, but I don't think
Yeah.
we're big. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
for me, that keeps me grounded in the sense that nothing goes to my head. And
Yes,
the
sir.
spiritual guy in me always go to God and say, dear Lord, I thank you for all the compliments, all the
Yeah.
well wishes, all the
Yeah.
blessings, because
Yeah.
people are seeing the good that you're doing in me.
Yes, sir.
So it's not for my credit. It's people seeing what God is doing through me in my business or through my
Yeah.
business. So it never
Wow.
gets to me. It's like the attention, the compliments come, then I pass them on to God. So they never
Yes,
stay in
sir.
my head. You know what I mean?
What?
They never stay in
Yeah.
my head. The compliments and attention never stays in my head. It's a matter of when you come to me and say, Theo, you're doing well. I'm like, thank you, and I go to
Yeah.
God and say, God, thank you, because Emmanuel sees the good that you're doing in me. So the
Absolutely.
blessing and the compliment never stays here. It
Mm.
gets here and it goes to God. So nothing is
Yeah.
here. You can see I don't have a big head, bruh. Because nothing stays here.
Yeah.
Nothing
Good
stays in
question.
my head. Yeah, nothing
Yeah.
stays in my
Yeah.
head. Yeah.
So, do you think business is spiritual? Um, according to your own journey, like, do you think business is spiritual? Because for me, I'll say yes.
You and I, Meputi Mahanyale told us business is
Yeah.
80% spiritual
Yeah.
and 20% technical. So for me, I
Yeah.
think business is spiritual because,
Yeah.
the other day they asked me that, do you think business is for everyone? I don't think
Yeah.
business is for everyone, honestly speaking.
Mm.
And I'll
Mm.
tell you why business is spiritual, and I said
Mm.
this the other time that for me, the reason why business is not for everyone because business goes beyond your avenue of trade.
Yes, sir.
Business goes beyond the avenue of trade. So you
Mm.
look at people like your Bill Gates,
Yes.
he's in tech industry, but you can see the amount of work and socio-economic impact that he's created and how
Yes.
he's giving back. So it's
Mm.
beyond his trade. It's beyond
Mm.
because it's bigger than that. You look at
Yes, sir.
Petrus Mutsipa, what he's doing,
Yeah.
in the avenues that he's doing, and then what
Yeah.
he's doing for the nation.
Yeah.
It's beyond that. So if you're not aligned spiritually, you
Yeah.
won't be able to create that impact. So
Yeah.
business goes beyond, the avenue of your trade because
Yeah.
of there's other impact that you need to make that has nothing to do with your profit, your product,
Mm.
or your service. And that's what
Yeah.
business is about.
Mm. Yeah. Funny question is, does Theo still wear Lacoste shoe or proudly Batu?
Where do I turn my camera? Okay, here.
Okay. Wow.
Proudly, or proudly,
Yeah.
proudly,
Great
proudly,
leader.
proudly, proudly
Amazing.
this.
Amazing.
Proudly
Amazing.
this, yeah. And
Yeah.
then for
Amazing.
those that I know, some people say, why do I have an Acosta shirt on?
Yeah.
It's because actually I've got a lot of local brands. It's just that these are
Yes, sir.
some of the shirts that I enjoy wearing. And then
Yeah.
I really get inspired by some of the brands as well. From an inspiration
Mm.
point of view. But I
Mm.
also consume a lot of other local brands.
Yeah. But stop lying to us. Business is for everyone.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Okay, leader.
and I want to say this. It's a
Yeah.
disclaimer. It's my view. That's how I look at it. And for those
Absolutely.
that
Because
believe
it
that
takes so
business,
much of you, eh?
yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, it's that's my view. And I think, if someone believes it's for everyone, no hard feelings. We just have different views.
Okay. Yeah, a good
Yeah.
one. I also want to speak about the path mentorship. And I know that you get so many requests. Young people say, Theo, please mentor me, How do you define mentorship? What is mentorship for Theo? And obviously you run a business, you are busy, you're traveling, you're trying to expand. Also, I'm looking at time. So please address the issue of mentorship. And also speak about your other business interests. Do you have other business interests besides Batu? Others also, they're asking about the books. Which books are you reading currently? And personally, from my side, I'll ask, what does it take to be a great businessman or a great entrepreneur?
Okay, cool. Where do I start? There's so many questions there.
Yeah, and I'm looking at time here.
Okay, cool. So in terms of where do I start? Can you ask two questions at a time,
Okay,
maybe?
let's
Quick
let's
one.
address about the mentorship here.
Or the mentorship,
Because
yes.
you get so many requests. You are young, you're black, you're doing it.
Yeah,
Everyone is looking for mentorship, and it's always key for us to give back. You know that I'm big on mentorship, right?
yeah.
So how do you define mentorship for you, and what are you doing also to uplift other young people as you grow?
Yeah. So in a business, we're starting something called the Batu Mentorship, where we
Okay.
start, they say charity begins at home, where we start doing coaching around the business. And
Yeah.
obviously we're working on something where, obviously this is for future projects where we're
Yes.
gonna start doing, Theo Baloyi one-on-ones and then Theo Baloyi mentorship sessions where we're gonna get into a room and literally have a mentorship session, maybe on a Saturday
Yeah.
or whatever,
Mm.
However, also we working on something around the brand that is going to try to engage people at the larger scale. I can't say much
Amazing.
about it at the moment,
Amazing. Amazing.
And then yeah. So we are working on
Good
that.
one.
Obviously,
Yeah.
we need to take into consideration other factors as well, but we are putting something together for people.
Excellent. And obviously, mentorship is quite broad, right? I mean, me
Mm,
following your work online, reading about your publication, you being highly profiled, YouTube, I still can get your work. That's mentorship, yeah? I don't
yeah,
have to always meet with you.
yeah, 100%,
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. And in terms of your other business interests, because people they want to know that you have other business interests beyond Batu. I mean, you know what? You are breathing through
Yeah.
the wood, leader.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I won't really dive too much into it, but we've got a
Yeah.
holding company in the business. We've
Amazing.
got an investment holding company that is into
Excellent.
different types of investments
Yeah.
in the financial services.
Amazing.
We've got our own logistics business, which
Yeah.
obviously caters for Batu at the moment and other several
Amazing.
clients. We actually
Yeah.
on a journey of getting our third truck on that business as well, and employing a few more people. I think Emmanuel's connection is bad. It's bad. It's definitely not my connection. But anyway, to answer Emmanuel's question, yeah, we've got about three businesses. We've got the investment holding company, Balo Investment Holding. We've got Balo Logistics that caters for Batu and other securing, and then we obviously have Batu. Mr. Bonoko left us. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I've been on this live chat for 53 minutes exactly. Need to go back to work now. And let's see if okay, cool. Uh, let's take one. Let's try to add one more person. Okay, let's add one more person. Okay, let's wait for Emmanuel to come back. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. Um, okay, Emmanuel is back. We'll wait for Emmanuel to come back.
Hey, technology leader, hey?
What happened, brother?
Technology. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think we're just gonna wrap it up. And we'll arrange my session. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe next week we'll speak about it.
Yes.
Because also I still have a meeting. Also, I know you got work from your side that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, leader. Words of advice to emerging entrepreneurs. And also I wanted to get your take in terms of the leadership of South Africa. You know, I believe that some of the decisions they make, they affect so many young people. They affect us as entrepreneurs. And now we're in a global crisis. You know, most entrepreneurs now, they need more support. So also I just want to get your take in terms of the kind of leaders that we have. Are they for people? Is our government doing enough to empower, you know, black, you know, entrepreneurs? And I don't want to say we are entitled. You know, I believe that, you know, we have great entrepreneurs in South Africa that are doing extremely well, but you can't deny the fact that we need support. We need those investments. Zuski Soksi said, I need 5 million rent. And, you know, later on, you know, on a bigger, you know, perspective, for me, I believe in investing in my own. I believe in creating a conducive environment for entrepreneurs to try new things, to fail. That is okay to fail. There's nothing wrong to fail, to make mistakes. And, you know, when I went to Nigeria, I met a good friend of mine that said, he was just saying in Kenya, there's a university where, you know, they help startups, you know, to register business. They help entrepreneurs for branding, access to market, and so forth. So do you think the government is really doing enough, you know, to support SMEs?
Yeah, to be honest with you, you know, I think our government has really done enough, man, to 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 um to make sure that there's enough players in the economy, you know, in different
Okay.
ways. And I think we need to also understand that the government has got a lot of mandate on the table, you know,
Yeah.
and the primary of that is not necessarily to build entrepreneurs or anything of that sort. You know, it's to really stabilize the
Yeah.
economy and to grow the economy in many other
Yeah.
sectors without putting money in businesses. And I think we've got a lot of agencies that are for that, and they are
Okay.
doing that. But obviously, they can't do it at a major or larger scale. I think my
Yeah.
view is that we need more reputable and successful businesses to really, you know, create a pool of funds. You see what they're doing in Stellenbosch, you know, how they've built their own economy. You know,
Yes, sir.
Silicon Valley, how they've built the economy. That has nothing to do
Yeah.
with the government, you know.
Yeah.
And I think the Stellenbosch guys have
Yeah.
really proven that, you know, if we are for our own, we can win. We just need more successful black people that can be for their own, you know, to really help grow other entrepreneurs. You know, and I
Yeah.
think the likes of Bontate Richard Maponya have done it in a bigger scale to really help and uplift others. And because when we do that, we really actually take off the pressure from the government, because the government has got so many, you know, so many avenues that they need to focus on. Not necessarily, you know, giving out money to entrepreneurs. And there's something wrong about giving. You know, when you just give, you know, there's something wrong about that. You know, especially something of monetary value. So my view is that the government is doing enough. What we need more successful, you know, sustainable businesses that can do their part to
Yes.
uplift other entrepreneurs. You know, and if we do more of that, you know, we can grow it. You know,
Yeah.
if we can have 4 more organizations, you know, contributing to a working capital of a startup, and when
Yeah.
that startup makes it big, it also
Yeah.
contributes to the other working capital of another startup. You know, that's how we're gonna build it, not necessarily the government. I mean, the other day, Mr. Vutskamara tweeted me about helping contribute to a working capital of
I
a startup.
saw. I
And we
saw.
did that, by the way. You know,
Yeah.
we
I
raised about,
saw.
I think, over 20K, you know,
I
for those
saw.
guys. You know, and
Yeah. I
all the
saw.
three of us, we contributed. So if
Yeah.
those guys if they succeed and they do the same to the next person, and I think that's how
Yeah.
we can really help. You
So
know,
in
because of,
closing, yeah,
yeah,
we are just saying, leader, that we want a movement that can be for a black people, a
100%.
movement that is not about about politics or being the government, but a movement that is mandated to empower a black person, you know, in our communities through investment, and also that can represent us in the government, because I
Spot
feel
on.
that young people, they're
Spot,
not well represented in the government. You know, we
spot on
don't have a
leadership.
voice, you know, and
Yeah.
some of the decisions that are made in the government, you can tell that these people, they don't know even what they're talking about.
We've got 40 seconds, and I just want to close it off by saying this. We've
Yeah.
got Stellenbosch Mafia, so they call them. We've
Yes.
got Silicon Valley, you know.
Yeah.
We need the Soweto Mafia. We need the Umlazi Mafia, you know. We need the Polokwane Mafias
Yes,
doing
sir.
exactly the same, and that's how we're going to build it for
All
our
right.
own, for our own, you know, and for our own people, by our people, for our own people. And for me, I think that's the only way we're gonna grow it. Not CETA and whatever, you know.
Nah. Okay.
Yeah.
And closing, leader, words of advice to emerging entrepreneurs and the books that we are reading.